Nasemanga lisemwalo lipo na kama lipo laja basi. And in this case, President William Ruto is on top gear to reshuffle his cabinet ministers. Yesterday, President William Ruto toured Baringo County on his extension development tour from Nakuru County to come and campaign for the UDA candidate in the scheduled by-election for Baringo that is scheduled to happen on November 27, 2025. That is this month. That indeed, when people asked President William Ruto where was their son, Gideon Kipsiele Moi, he said that Gideon amemtuma na atamtuma Gideon sasa aje awasalimie. Literally, in simple terms, he said that Gideon will come home with a flag on his vehicle. That is an indicator that Gideon Moi will be given a position in the cabinet so that arudi nyumbani aje sasa salimie watu kama waziri. That is what the president said yesterday in Baringo County. And today in particular, I want us to highlight something or this issue on the people who might actually be asked out of cabinet and those who might enter the cabinet in this much anticipated cabinet reshuffle. First things first is that President William Ruto is realigning his cabinet to suit or to gain a political mileage. Why? When Right Honorable Raila Odinga was still alive, President William Ruto had much focus on the ODM party and the Luo nation. That if indeed he has Raila in his docket, 2027 re-election will be much almost sure come 2027. But now the death of Right Honorable Raila Odinga has taken things to the drawing board again. Remember, President William Ruto has only around 20% or 30% of most Kenya votes, which is very small compared to the 2022 general election results, where Mount Kenya contributed almost 40% or 50% or even almost 60% total votes of a president in that election. And now, having impeached the former deputy president, the Mount Kenya are now rebelling. And the option for President William Ruto was now to rely on the ODM party, which was being led by the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And in this case, for President William Ruto to win the hearts of Nyanza province or the Luo nation, including the western parts of the country to Mombasa or the coastal part where ODM had a lot of populace, is that he has to reschedule his cabinet secretary. And first of all, as I said earlier, that let's start with the number of people, all the possible people that will be asked out of cabinet. One is CS Oparanya, the CS for SMSEs, if I'm not wrong. Yes. Oparanya has been caught several times going against party or the Kenya Kwanza government policies. At one particular point, Oparanya was recorded drunk, saying that the ODM must reorganize itself to win power 2027. Indeed, in another scenario, there are reports that his performance in the cabinet is below average. So that is one of the things that is possibly going to affect CS Oparanya. Number two is the CS for Gender, Culture and Heritage, the wife to the late Senator for Baringo, William Kipkiror Cheptumo, Anna Cheptumo. According to reports, Anna Cheptumo's profile is not giving that this young or this lady, the wife to the late Baringo Senator, has no impactful or has no impact on ground back at his home. And in speaking politically, she's not a woman who has been in politics. She has been a woman who has practiced law most of his entire life. So when she came to the political arena, she has not mastered the political tricks that is being played in the political arena. Then President William Ruto is scheduling to reorganize the cabinet by shifting Anna Cheptumo to maybe an ambassadorial seat or maybe to a UN Habitat office, where now she does not uh, come into political circles, something that she has never been exposed to in her entire life. That is second person. That person who is most likely to be asked out of cabinet is Education CS Julius Ogamba. Ogamba was the running mate for the previous CS for Education, who happens to come from Kisii. In the same route, Ogamba underground, the same performance of Ogamba in terms of rating in cabinet is very poor. Most likely, he will be asked out. The fourth person who might be asked out of cabinet is CS Davis Chirchir. Particularly, this is strategic because for President William Ruto to win the heart of Gideon Moi, he has to give him one of the biggest seats in the country and the biggest cabinet secretary position that Gideon can suit is either transport or energy. And from the rumors that are moving is that CS Davis Chirchir will be rescheduled to maybe work in the Presidential Advisory Committee or a presidential to chair the president itineraries or something like chairing presidential plans. Then now Gideon Moi will be brought back to either CS Transport or CS Energy. That is those who will be asked out. As I have earlier indicated that Gideon Moi is scheduled to be part of the new cabinet. Number two is none other than Babu Owino. For ODM to stand and for Ruto to win the hearts of young Kenyans is to give somebody like Babu Owino a chance to be the CS in this government, even though they don't agree in ideologies. But for Babu Owino, given the CS for either education, will raise his profile up, giving him a biggest opportunity to be the Luo spokesperson. Because no person who is amount to that position will be ignored and never be given a chance to maybe become a Luo spokesperson. And automatically, when he becomes a Luo spokesperson, he tends to directly become the ODM party leader. Another person who might make a shakeup in the political arena is Winnie Odinga. President might consider awarding the family of Odinga the cabinet secretary position. And there is now the position that will be taken to the CS Gender, Culture and Heritage, where Cheptumo's wife was after now the reshuffle. That is my analysis based on the rumors that are moving around that now President will give the Odinga's family as a way of wooing the Nyanza region and the Odinga family to stay close to him as it was when Right Honorable Raila Odinga was still present. And in a report that was published by NTV when Gideon Moi and President William Ruto met in Kabarak, there is one seat that is also yet to be given to the coastal part of Kenya. And remember, the coastal part of Kenya is the home of ODM party. Right now, celebrations for the 20th anniversary will be taking place in Mombasa. And that is the home ground of ODM. By adding another one CS position to the coastal part is now moving the ODM votes closer to President William Ruto. We are still waiting to see who was Raila's political loyalist from Mombasa, apart from the CS now for mineral and blue economy, Hassan Joho, who will be given the next slot. Having said that there is another slot that has been tendered for the coastal region. And that is the possible realignment that is looming, scheduled to happen in few weeks to come, or even few days, that President William Ruto might take the next step in reshuffling his cabinet.